Who was the world-famous Golden Man? Why could a sensational archaeological find never take place? How did people decorate their clothes 2,500 years ago? Let's try to find answers in the new episode of Welcome to Kazakhstan project.
Находку казахстанского золотого человека.
Researchers often compare the find of the Kazakh Golden Man with the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb. Why such opinion might not have appeared? We'll have to plunge into history. This is Welcome to Kazakhstan project. My name is Zakirjan Mamlutov. Let's broaden our horizons. Turgeon Gorge and the Qazaq River are the most beautiful locations of Zhetysu. But their significance is not only in picturesque views, but also in archaeological potential. The fact is that back in the 30s of the last century, scientists discovered many Saka burial mounds along the banks of the river. Over the past decades, more than 300 of them have been found in a small area of 10 kilometers in length. What is this mound, where we are now? We began to explore this mound 2 years ago. This year we will continue our research. A wide trench was made here along the north-south axis according to one of the methods for excavating such mounds. And this mound is roughly the size of the mound in which the Golden Man was discovered. Its height is 6 meters, diameter is 60 meters. As far as I know, the mound where the Golden Man was found has not survived. It has not survived. The fact is that in Soviet times, no special attention was paid to this archaeological find. After the exploration, the mound was leveled and demolished. A motor depot was built there. What are your expectations from the excavation of this mound? Well, here we found the edge of the funerary grave. The burial chamber itself has not survived, as it was plundered several times. Here we found fragments, pieces of the Tian Shan spruce tree, burnt wood. Apparently, when the royal person was buried, or there may be several burials here, they were paired burials. After the burial of the deceased, some apparently ritual fire was lit here. Here we see distinctly plunderer's funnel. From above you can see the filling of stones, and the funnel goes straight into the burial chamber. Here the burial chamber goes into the wall a little to the right of us, and this year we plan to make another wide trench in the east-west direction and fully explore it. That is, it is quite possible that some kind of front pager awaits us in the next year or two. Well, this cannot be denied, but most of the mounds, all of them, are actually plundered. If we take the Qazaq burial ground, for many years, 10 years of research carried out on these mounds showed that even the bone remains of the people are not preserved in the burial chambers. Well, some fragments of ceramics, respectively gold, are generally a rarity to find here. However, the most amazing discovery at the excavations of the Qazaq necropolis happened in 1969. But it all started a little earlier, in 1963, with a natural disaster. In the hot summer, a mud flow came from the mountains and covered the lake. The stream of stones and mud simply wiped out the reservoir from the face of the earth. Many people suffered. The villages were destroyed. A few years later, the restoration of the region began, and according to the law, before construction it was necessary to make an archaeological assessment of the area for historical value. An expedition sent by Kemal Akishev under the leadership of Bekmuhammed Nurmuhamedov conducted excavations on the territory of a motor depot under construction and discovered a real archaeological treasure, not plundered burial. It turned out that the diameter of the mound reached 60 meters and its height was 6 meters. 2 people were once buried in it. The grave of one unfortunately was not saved from raiders, but the grave of the second.
В погребальной камере археологи обнаружили кости молодого человека.
In the burial chamber, archaeologists found the bones of a young man, aged 16-18. But his costume, decorated with many golden ornaments, aroused particular interest. During further excavations, archaeologists found more than 4,000 golden items. They also discovered simpler utensils, earthenware, wooden and silver cutlery, clay products. The coffin for the young ruler was a frame made of Tian Shan spruce. Jewelry rested nearby, finger rings, earrings, necklaces. There was even a place for a mirror. The ancient Sakas were serious about their appearance.
алтындар 16 түрлі саф алтыннан жасалынған құрамалы белбеу.
The golden man today is the pride of our country, a symbol of independence. There are over 150 golden ornaments on his headdress. Among them, the golden archaľy, the golden arrows facing 4 directions, and the golden Pegasus stand out. These decorations symbolize heaven, earth, and the underworld. And his clothes are adorned with more than 3,500 ornaments. Most of them are golden triangles, and along the edges there are golden stripes, made in an animal style. 16 different belt ornaments are made of high-grade pure gold. 2 swords flaunt on both thighs of the armor. That is, the golden man was a Saka warrior. On his neck he had a choker of 3 chains, which signifies his special position in society. In his right hand he holds a whip, which means he was also a skilled rider. His trousers are tucked into his boots for a comfortable ride. Also, a ring with the image of the sun god is worn on the right-hand finger. According to sources, in the worldview of the Sakas, the holy god of the sun was called Mithra. The Mithra ring appears to have been used as a seal, and only the rulers kept the seal. Therefore, it can be assumed that the golden man was a ruler. Based on this, we can say with confidence that there is a certain cultural harmony and continuity of generations between the Saka and the Kazakhs.
Самый известный элемент одеяния золотого человека.
The most famous piece of the golden man's clothing is the 70 centimeters high-pointed headdress. It is decorated with golden plates and plugs depicting leopards, mountain goats, animals and plants. There are also mythical horses tulpars, which were later transferred to the coat of arms of independent Kazakhstan. Today, in the Issyk Reserve Museum, 4 exhibition halls are open for visitors. The history of the discovery and study of the Golden Man, the archaeology of Kazakhstan, the history and culture of the Saka tribes, the exhibition hall and the memorial office of the archaeologist Bekmuhammed Nurmuhamedov.
Главная загадка кургана, серебряная чаша, на которой можно разглядеть.
The main mystery of the mound is the silver bow, on which you can see 26 symbols. It is still unknown what kind of language it is. It resembles the Orkhon Yenisei writing, but despite many theories, no one could come close to deciphering the inscriptions. In addition to the museum, the Issyk Reserve includes several more locations. The Saka settlement of Arikti, located 4 kilometers from the city of Issyk, the Saka settlement of Rahat, the medieval settlement of Talquz, which is 20 kilometers to the south, the necropolis Issyk Kurgan, where they found the Golden Man. The total area of the museum reserve is more than 400 hectares.
Солярные круги известны с эпохи неолита.
Solar circles have been known since the Neolithic era. The Sakas used them for religious rituals. Unfortunately, this circle is not real. It was built by museum workers, specially for tourists. The task is to go through the entire maze and make a wish. They say it will definitely come true. The main treasure of the museum in the city of Issyk are things from the personal collection of Bekmuhammed Nurmuhamedov, or as he was called, Beken Aga. The respect for him was so strong that his office later became a memorial. Here you can also see the bust of Nurmuhamedov, but the main part of the golden jewelry from the Issyk mounds is now kept in the capital of the Republic, in Nur Sultan.
И вот Иссыкский вот этот золотой человек, это же была не центральная могила, это вообще боковая могила.
Well, the Issyk Golden Man, it was not the central grave, it was generally a side grave. This was made on purpose. The central one was plundered, but this one was left untouched. And then such a thing happened. When the Shahin Shah of Iran came with his wife, they were in Almaty for 2 hours, and they had everything scheduled in time. There were 10 or 15 minutes to visit the Institute of Archaeology. And as they went there, they stayed there all the time. And then the Shah's wife said to the Shah, "Buy it, but who will sell? This is the property of the people."
Купи, значит. Но кто же продаст это достояние народа?
Getting to the city of Issyk, where the Issyk Museum Reserve is located, is quite easy. It is located 56 kilometers from Almaty. You can get there by bus in a little over an hour. The suburban route runs from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. at intervals of 12 minutes. But you can always use your own car or taxi to get to Issyk in half an hour.
Мы многого не знаем о далеком прошлом. Кем был золотой?
We may not know a lot about the distant past, who the Golden Man was, how he lived 2,500 years ago. But in order to quickly get closer to the solution, to feel the breath of ancient times, you should definitely visit the Issyk Museum Reserve. Welcome to Kazakhstan.